Good evening, everyone. We are ECL Group. Today, we'll be presenting a case study on one of the most significant corporate scandal in recent history, the Volkswagen Dieselgate. Our presentation focuses on how a global feature of corporate intelligence led to crises that shook the entire automotive industry. Let's start with an introduction. Next. This case study analyzed the 2015 Volkswagen emission scandal, where the company was found using ethical software to check on environmental regulations. But this isn't just about technological checking. It is a profound example of the conflict between aggressive corporate strategy and ethical integrity. We will explore how the pressure to success led to a complete breakdown of business interests.
First, let's look at the background. The key player here is the Volkswagen Group. The issue started as early as 2008, but was only exposed to the world in September 2015 by the US Environmental Protection Agency. So, what exactly happened? Volkswagen installed a piece of software known as Defeat device in about 11 million diesel cars worldwide. Here is how it worked. The software could detect when the car was being tested in a lab. During tests, it turned on full pollution controls to pass the test, but on the road, it disabled those controls to improve performance, causing the car to emit literal NOx up to 40 times the legal limited. Next. Now we must ask, why did this happen? We identified three main factors. First is aggressive ambition. VW had a goal to become the world's number one automaker and was pushing hard to sell clean diesel cars in the US market. Second is the technical challenge. Their engineers realized they couldn't meet the strict US emission standards while keeping the cost low and performance high. It was an impossible triangle. Third, and most importantly, was a toxic corporate culture. There was a culture of fear under the leadership at the time. Engineers were afraid to admit failure to the management, so they closed to chat instead. Next.
This misconduct had serious legal consequences. The offense was a direct violation of the U.S. Clean Air Act. Volkswagen was also charged with conspiracy to defraud and false advertising. The punishments were severe. Financially, the second deal was cost VW over 30 billion euros in fines, legal settlements, and vehicle buybacks. Allegedly, VW pleaded gradually to criminal charges. In 2017, several executives were charged, and one engineer, Oliver Schmidt, was sentenced to 7 years in prison. This shows that corporate leads to personal criminal liability. Next.
The scandal has widespread implications for the organizations. Volkswagen's stock price crashed by over 13% within days, and their reputation for German engineering was shattered. For the individuals and society, the excess pollution posed serious health risks and millions of customers saw their car values drop. However, for the industry, there was a silver lining. The scandal effectively killed the passenger diesel market and forced the entire industry to accelerate the shift toward electric vehicles much faster than planned. Next.
So how can organizations prevent this from happening again? First, we need a strong whistleblower protection. Employees must feel safe to report misconduct without fear of retaliation. Second, companies must issue independent complaints. The legal and compliance departments should be uh, separate from R&D and sales so that they aren't pressured by business targets. Final, we need cultural reform. Companies must shift from a midst of results at all cost to one where integrity comes first.
What are the key lessons from this case? Number one, the high cost of corruption, the money VW tried to save by chanting was nothing compared to the 30 billion euros they lost later. Number two, transparency is not negotiable. In today's digital age, you cannot hide secrets. I ask behavior will eventually be exposed. And finally, ask engineering technology is a powerful tool, but it must be used to serve society, not to deceive regulate. Next, to conclude our presentation, the Volkswagen Dieselgate teaches us that a profitably cannot exist without integrity. A company may achieve short-term gains through ask means, but sustainable success requires security adherence to the law and normal standards. That brings us to the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.